Today we are coming to you from Elba Island. Elba Island is one of the islands that make up Groseal.
Welcome to the American Dream TV, the show that is built on lifestyle, culture, and real estate. I'm your host, Amy Scruggs. In this episode, we're headed to Detroit, where we will be featuring Moving the Mitten. Let's get this episode started right now.
The search is over, baby. I'm right here, and I got it.
The American Dream, the only show that combats negative media, not owned by a network, commercial-free, unscripted.
I got it.
These are stories for you and by you.
One of the great features of living on this island is the Municipal Airport. Back in the 1920s through the 1960s, the current airport actually served as a naval base, and people such as Bob Barker and George Bush Sr. actually did some flight trainings here. Today, as it stands, the airport services about 80 so airplanes in their private hangars, as well as about 150 airport operations on a daily basis. So you can literally drive in from your house, grab your plane, fly wherever you want. Maine for lobsters, New Orleans for etouffee, whatever you'd like.
Come fly away with me. Imagine all the things that we could see.
Quaint Island of Groseal hosts numerous events throughout the year for residents and visitors, including 5K runs, Island Fest, and parades. One of my favorite events is the Halloween parade in downtown Groseal. Some very creative women have really put this event on the map when their video went viral with over 5 million views on Facebook. These are the Witch Wives of Groseal. These ladies surprised parade spectators 3 years ago when they marched down Macomb Street fully dressed in witch attire to a choreographed routine. They were the hit of the parade and had continued to wow folks from near and far. Today we are coming to you from Elba Island. Elba Island is one of the islands that make up Groseal. Groseal is actually an island that is connected to mainland Michigan through 2 bridges. The joke is one is a free bridge and one is a toll bridge. So today I'm here with Deidre Creel. Deidre is one of my best friends, my top producing agents, and she just happens to be my co-list of this beautiful property. Thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you, Therese.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about this great home. Now, Dee and I, we've been to a lot of pubs in our lifetime, haven't we?
Definitely.
And I don't know if we've ever been to such a cool pub in a residential property. Would you agree?
Agreed.
So tell us a little bit about this room here on our Elba listing, and then tell us a little bit about the property.
So this pub, when my buyer was looking to purchase, we walked in this room and it was the pub, and we just thought to ourselves,
Cool.
it is so cool.
Yeah.
But it's just a great entertaining room. It's right off the porch, which gives you beautiful views of the Detroit River.
Yeah.
But this is a definitely beautiful 1905 historic estate that sits on a little bit less than an acre and also sits on about 126 feet of water, and that water is the Detroit River.
So the nice thing about the Detroit River is it's big water. It's considered big water. So the boat lift and hoist is huge. It accommodates very large boats. Now from the Detroit River, we can head just south and it's gonna dump us into Lake Erie, one of our Great Lakes here in the wonderful state of Michigan. Now when you hit Lake Erie, you can continue to head east, and that's gonna drop you anywhere from taking the kids to Cedar Point, which is one of the large amusement parks in Ohio, to Put-in Bay, the biggest party island of the north. You could actually travel all the way to the ocean from this dock, which then gives you the world as your oyster.
How great is it to have your backyard, or as they say when you live on the water, it's your front yard, of all the beauty and the panoramic views of the water. They say Key West is always sunny, 360 days plus. I feel that being here on Elba Island, I feel I'm always in sunshine and happiness because you just look out to the views and the beautiful water. It just sets your mood.
The views of this home are absolutely stunning. Let's take a peek of the rest of the property.
Let's do it.
Groseal comes with a vast history. Since 1976, when the McComb brothers purchased the island, many affluent business families have called it home. Some of those families include the Olds family, the Fishers families, as well as Werner of Werner's Ginger Ale.
And it has been rumored that this beautiful ornate staircase has come from the Russell House in Detroit. This beautiful staircase leads us to our 5 bedrooms and 3 full baths. Should we go take a look?
Absolutely, let's go see it. The outside of this home has it all. Matured and manicured landscaping, excellent outdoor entertaining space, and again, steps from your dock on international waters. Canada's in our background, and if you just head east, you can make it to Ohio, to any of the party islands, even Sandusky for Cedar Point Amusement Park, or keep going east to make it to the ocean, and the world is your oyster.
I want to thank you again, Therese, for featuring our beautiful Elba estate and, of course, the $1 million views.
Hello everybody, Therese Antonelli, broker-owner of Moving the Mitten Real Estate Group. And today, Danelle Ledden, our lead designer of Mitten Home Staging and Design, is joining us, and we're going to talk a little bit about home staging. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So Danelle, what is home staging? I mean, years ago, you never even heard the word, and all of a sudden, within probably the last 5 to 10 years, we talk about home staging.
Yep.
What is home staging?
It's essentially another marketing tool. So it's used in a lot of time vacant homes that need to be showcased, and it's a way of when someone's looking through pictures on Zillow or wherever they're looking at, it's a way of catching their eye. It's a marketing tool. It kind of draws them in and like, oh wow, look at this space. It's just like model homes in new construction.
Oh, yeah,
People
for
walk
sure.
through them and they're awed because of the decorating and the staging. So
Because in today's world, honestly, the first time a potential buyer sees that property is usually on Zillow or Trulia or Realtor or one of the many websites out there that they're house hunting, and we essentially want to capture or pique their interest while they're searching the internet to actually get them into the house, right?
Correct. Yes, absolutely.
And that, I mean, a decor and furnished home definitely shows 100 times better than a vacant property.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more. Does home staging just include bringing in the home decor pieces and the furnishings?
No, it does not. It actually can start from the ground up. A lot of times my clients will have me come out and do a consult. We'll talk about flooring, maybe paint colors, light fixtures, cabinetry, handles, and things like that. That set the stage. It's kind of like the backdrop. So if you have you may love red, but maybe not everybody else loves red.
Right.
So a neutral wall is the best way. And then once we've kind of talked about that, and as far as the client wants to take it, they'll go ahead and do some of those things, and then we bring in all of that fun stuff to finish it off. It's like the jewelry.
Yes. I always like to share the story. A couple of weeks ago, we had a seller, let's just say, and we did a consult with him, a real estate consult. And he just had this sky is the limit price in his mind. It was too optimistic, in my opinion. And believe you me, in this market, you can be extremely optimistic. But I remember it was a rental. He had been using it as a rental for some years, and it looked like a rental. I mean, those kitchen cupboards were beat up, the floor was worn, the carpet was stained, and it was a huge house, which was a huge canvas. I don't think most buyers would have walked into that home and realized where the dining room went, or where the breakfast nook table would go, or where you could put the 2 little extra sitting room chairs.
Sure.
And so we were honest with him in terms of price point, but we also made some suggestions, and then you ended up general contracting an entire remodel pretty much.
It was fun. It was fun.
What did you do? Remind me.
So we went through and we replaced all of the carpeting in the carpeted spaces. We refinished the hardwood floors.
Okay.
We painted from all trim,
the
doors,
whole-
ceilings, everything. We included redoing the kitchen cabinets.
Okay. Which, by the way, is not as costly as one would think,
No,
correct?
it's not. I mean, it can be upwards of like $5,000, but usually below that, and it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Rather than someone coming in and going, oh my gosh, I got to
gotta
spend
redo
50.
this whole
Yes,
kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth it, and
Yeah.
something if you're trying to get top dollar for that space and trying to really draw on those buyers. So we did all of that, and then we replaced like even the light fixture covers, the floor vent covers, those kind of details people see when they're purchasing a home. So and then we brought in all of our beautiful stagings, and it sold in the first weekend for over asking.
So we did. We ended up releasing at the price point that Mr. Seller had wanted from the get-go, and we sold it in 7 offers?
7 offers.
First weekend on market, and got him $15,000 or so over list price. And again, it's always risk for first reward. When we had that initial conversation with him about putting the money into refinishing the floors and the carpet and the paint, it had to be worth it to him, but it definitely was worth it to him.
Yes, it was, and I'm glad he trusted us.
I agree, and you did a phenomenal job general contracting that whole project. What are some good tips that, I mean, not all houses need to be staged, right?
Correct.
I mean, it's really just a small portion, in my opinion, whether it was a vacant house due to a rental or a relocation or a flip. A lot of times we get these, these investors who are picking up houses, doing these amazing flips and then putting them to market. Well, they've got this amazingly beautiful canvas, but there's nothing in it, right?
Right.
So, but again, there's going to be a lot of homes where Mr. and Mrs. or Mr. and Mr. or whoever it is living in the property, and you don't necessarily have to stage it because they've already got furniture. What are some kind of designer tricks that you could suggest to those folks who just need some decluttering and
like a home edit?
Yes, a home edit. I like that.
Well, first of all, I try to tell them less clutter is best. So you want to take down all those personal things, and you want to kind of make the space feel as wide open as you can. A lot of knickknacks are not necessarily good because when people walk in, they just want to see the space.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, I can do that for people when I go into homes. I can say, okay, let's move this groups of 3. Let's move this over here.
Right.
Some fresh throw pillows. Clean. Getting a professional cleaning really does
Yeah, we always say, truthfully, before you list your home for sale, before those photographs and videos and drone is done, and before you have that first buyer walk through your home, a deep clean, not by yourself, usually by a hired hand, because truthfully, they are going to get spots that you've overlooked for 1, 2, 10, 20 years. And then window cleaning is huge.
Yes.
So inexpensive, yet it makes such a statement when you can see through a clean glass window.
Absolutely. That's another thing too, is opening the drapes. And if you have heavy drapes, sometimes replacing those with light shears. Letting the natural light in does make the room feel airier, bigger, things like that. Positioning furniture. Sometimes we position furniture what's normal to us or comfortable for our living.
Of course.
And maybe that chair is positioned right in front of that television.
TV,
Yes. But it's not a good walkway. So for the time being, when you're showing a home, you should probably move it and make that flow a little bit easier for people to understand and go through. And just maybe fresh linens on the beds, greenery. I love greenery. I'm huge on greenery. I bring 10,000 bins of greenery when I stage a home.
And luckily, we are located near IKEA of Mitten, Michigan. So we've got a little bit of foot above the crowd because we can go to IKEA and get all kinds of greenery.
It's great for greenery. So those are just kind of some tips, just kind of freshen your clean your counters.
Yeah, talk to me. Let's talk about counters.
Yes.
Let's talk about the kitchen.
Okay.
Because truthfully, in my experience as well on the real estate side, is kitchens are one of those rooms where clutter is a little allowed, right? The cereal boxes and the chip bags on the top of the refrigerator, and the refrigerator full of magnets and every picture of every kid and grandkid, and you know, sometimes kitchens are acceptable to have some of that clutter, but when it comes time for taking great photographs to be able to market your property, would you just say, sweep that kitchen?
Yes and no. I do like a couple positioned things. I think a nice positioned coffee maker, maybe a toaster if it's nice, nice and clean and neat. You can have, cookbook on the counter, maybe some mugs. I definitely think that you don't need all of your creamers and coffee, sugars, and all that kind of stuff sitting next to it. Just a few position items, usually tucked back in the corners. I mean, it's lived in, right?
Of course.
People need to envision where they're gonna put their things as well, but I do think that the less is more.
I agree. I agree completely. Well, we are fairly a new company at Mitten Home Staging and Design, and it's kind of a fun story of how it all got started. So, several years back, we would always subcontract out our stage jobs for our listings through various, other staging companies in Metro Detroit. And don't get me wrong, we have some amazing colleagues in our market that do just tremendous work. But as with anything, realtors, car salesmen, stagers, not all are created equal. So we had a couple of large stages, and let's just say the staging company that had done the stage staged it a little underwhelmingly, let's just say. IKEA furniture, small pieces that went into a 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 square foot home, and I was at my wit's end, and one day I had to now walk the property with me about 48 hours before my professional photography team showed up. And I just couldn't, in my right mind, release that property to market with such small, compact furniture in such a large space. So I looked over at Danelle, knowing the creative brain that she is, and I handed her the Amex card and I said, fix it. And I told her she had 48 hours to fix it because we had camera and drone and videography coming in 48 hours, and you did it.
I did it.
And then when we sold the house and needed to remove the furniture, we kind of got to thinking, well, what are we going to do with all this furniture we just bought? And Mitten Home Staging and Design was born. So we have about a 2,000 square foot warehouse, and although I personally am a very simple person, I get extremely overwhelmed when I walk into our warehouse and realize I own 40 kitchen tables and 700 throw pillows.
That might be correct.
But we have the most beautiful of staging inventory, and we truly, Danelle is the lead of all of this, but she takes such pride in creating not so great spaces and making them look awesome. And that was one thing I wanted you to touch on, because even the most perfect home, you're gonna have some negative parts, whether it's, oh my gosh, why did the builder build that dining room nook so small, or whatever it is, and you have the ability to take your creative juices and accentuate the positive and kind of hide the negative, right?
Yeah, and that's part of staging. You do have to look at a room and kind of figure out what do you want people to look at and what do you want people to kind of ignore.
Turn their heads from.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you.
And for all of you who might need some staging services or even design services, what's so nice to have her as part of our team is oftentimes we'll sell a home to a buyer and they'll just say, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do with this space. And then we just say, well, we happen to have a designer in-house. And now oftentimes we'll meet with clients and help them choose paint colors, help them redesign their entire home. Sometimes you've done some great work for our clients.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, I enjoy it.
So thank you again. And again, mittenhomestaging.com if you have any needs.
If you're looking for homes in the greater Detroit area, then you are in luck. We have Moving the Mitten's latest listings right here. Let's check them out.
One 2230 Lake Point Pass, Belleville, Michigan. This 3-bed, 3-bath, 2018 custom-built ranch sits on 220 feet of sandy beach on All Sports Belleville Lake. You get the best of both worlds on this one, as you can see beautiful sunrise views as stunning sunset. There's a walkout basement, 3-car attached garage. This beautiful property is listed at $750,000. Here's your opportunity to lease in one of Detroit's hottest lofts, 200 River Place Drive in Detroit, Michigan. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, almost 2,000 square foot loft in downtown Detroit with stunning rooftop views of the Detroit River. This property boasts maple floors, exposed brick walls, and industrial ductwork. One parking spot is included in the monthly rent. Rent this great property for $3,000 per month. (9079) South Main Street in Plymouth, Michigan. This 3-bed, 2.5-bath Cape Cod home sits on a basement with a main floor laundry, 2-car garage, and a fenced yard. the best part is it's walking distance to desirable downtown Plymouth, with shops and restaurants, street fairs, and music in the park. This property is listed at $400,000. $9222 Normandy in Ypsilanti is currently listed at $450,000. This 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, brick colonial was built in 2005. It features pond views, full daylight basement, and a 3-car attached side entry garage. Main floor laundry, as well as a bonus floor room, finishes off the main floor. $23738 Lion Ridge in South Lyon, Michigan. This property is listed at $485,000. It features 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and it's a brick colonial that was built in 2006. There's a partially finished basement, as well as an open concept main floor plan with first floor laundry, main floor office with custom built-ins, private backyard with a paver patio, and a stunning master suite. There's a 2-car side entry garage on this home as well.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of The American Dream in Detroit. Make sure and follow us on social media and engage in the conversation. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode. And in the meantime, cheers to your American dream.